Oh my god, it's such a nice day at the beach. I sure hope nothing unexpected happens.
Oh, Click, I have but one thing to ask you. Will you marry me?
Oh my god, Click, I never thought you would ask. It's so romantic. Of course I do. Duh.
It's all mine, precious. The only thing we can do now, my precious, is to make sure all the guests at the wedding complete in a ring of death, and the survivors are the only one that gets food.
Sorry, getting carried away? Oh, it was me. All along. Do not be frightened. It was fake all along. Good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the Click. I do not wish to alarm you. That intro was completely staged, but some of the things in this video are at least as outrageous as this intro, and they are not fake. Welcome to r/WeddingShaming. Enjoy. Mwah. Oh, by the way, it's actually like a small replica version of the One Ring I used for this intro. Look at that. Look, I had this one for ages. It's amazing. I need to polish it, though. I need to polish it, and then I can scare people.
And I can play as Gollum for Halloween. Stupid fat hobbit says she ruins my wedding.
Let's do this, baby.
Days passed and everything changed. Our love got stronger and stronger. He was no longer
A slave?
He was part of the family. Part 2 pre-wedding session.
Okay, well, so this is like a plantation wedding. That picture doesn't look so bad if you ignore the description. And then we scroll to picture 2 and they're in a field just kissing the hands. And why is he wearing chains? I didn't think it was a literal plantation wedding. What? And then the third, it just gets worse. It just gets worse. Is this real? Is this actually real? Was this a wedding people had? Whose eyes widened more and more with each swipe? Dear God! Why would he agree to this? I refuse to believe this isn't satire. Someone please tell me this is satire. I mean, I'm hoping it's like a photo shoot that was used for a calendar or a weird reality show or something. I don't think so, sadly. I don't, but why would the other party go along with this? I don't understand. Oh. I suppose one thing about marriage and that kind of stuff is, culture and tradition and history, but I don't think this is what they mean. Bachelor party blows up the wedding. Disaster tag. Ooh, this is gonna be a real disaster. Still the wildest wedding story I have ever known. Thought I would share. About 7 years ago, my now husband was on a bachelor party at a relatively classy resort with a close childhood friend he didn't see very often in adulthood. They went to different colleges and lived in different cities. Setting the stage for some later irony, the boys all had t-shirts made with different politician quotes on them. My husband's was something from Winston Churchill and the groom's was, "I did not have naughties with that woman." Anyways, the guys are all in the classy bar area drinking and join tables with a group of girls. Similar background and all the types of people they would be friends with in real life. Fast forward to the next morning. The group had naughties with one of them, who he had picked up while wearing the Bill Clinton shirt. His fiancé obviously found out, but still wanted to go through with the wedding. He called it off. 7 years later, the groom and the girl he slept with on the bachelor party had a baby together a couple of months ago, unmarried but dating this entire time, and are on the cusp of breaking up. Life moves at you fast. That is so ironic. Out of all the shirts you could have worn, you did this while wearing that. Like, oh my god, that is so... These stories could literally be scripted. It is at that stage. But as a statistical mathematician, I suppose if you also have just enough bad weddings, some of them are going to be absolutely delicious stories. So I suppose if you just keep doing it over and over again, some of the stories are bound to be just mwah. Interesting to me that the bride was like, fine, let's move on. And the groom was like, no, I actually really like this random chick I banged. I'm going off with her instead. While wearing the shirt that I didn't do anything naughty with her. Keep that in mind. I mean, yeah, they never got married and might be breaking up, new baby stress, but he stayed with her for 7 years. That's fairly impressive and unusual in these kind of circumstances. Yeah, out of all the places you met someone you spent 7 years in a relationship with, was that your own, wedding ceremonies? That is wild! Wedding shaming my fatphobic friend. Foul friends. I am a plus-size person getting married. I have a friend that has invited herself to the wedding outfit finding process. Now, I never invited her because she is fatphobic and I am fat that loves their body. It has come up in several ways, such as when I told her I am fatter than I have ever been and more in love with my body than ever. She questioned the heck out of me, trying to disprove my self-love because she couldn't believe someone could be my size and love themselves truly. Mind you, she has a tall, athletic build, is average weight, and has said she would love herself more if she only lost 15 pounds. So I haven't pushed on this with her because it seems to be a real struggle for her. I've just been living my fat life happy. Last night I messed up and told her I was going to Chicago to find a wedding outfit. I am genderqueer, gay, and set on a jumpsuit. I am highly opposed to a dress. Instead of her asking me what I actually was thinking, she dove into how I should wear a toga-style dress, and can I just please do it for her? So because I am fat, I must wear a potato sack! In reality, I love my bod and wear form-fitting and crop tops all the time. I want a colorful jumpsuit with my arms out, bahonkers showing, and belly on full display. Because yes, I do even love my belly. See my favorites. Whoa! Heck yes. I have some family down in Germany that got married a while ago, and I think the best way they described it is comfort weight. It's like, this matches our lifestyle, this makes us happy, and this is the kind of priorities we want to make. It was kind of beautiful, it was kind of cute. But yeah, just don't invite this friend to testing outfits, is if they're so eager to like project their own values and what they would wish to see on you. It's a really weird thing. It's like the same kind of vibe as when parents are overly controlling and try to live their life through a child. It's like, nah fam. Put her on an info diet and go shopping without her. Are you sure she is a friend? Info diet! Oh my... I've never heard that term before. I have learned something new in this video. My bridesmaid accepted her role in a way that hurt my heart. I asked 3 women to be my bridesmaid with a small gift. I asked each woman privately at their homes while visiting, so it could be a heartfelt personal moment between us alone. One bridesmaid I'll call as A is a kind-hearted woman I've known for more than half my life, who's been with me through some serious ups and downs, including the death of a child. That is so serious. I have known I wanted her to be a part of my wedding party for many years. She even offered to host it in her backyard when I was brainstorming budget venues. That is such a sweet friend. A doesn't have many close friends, but I'm not her only friend, and she is significantly older than I am, so she's talked to me about plenty of weddings she's attended before. I just assumed that she's been a bridesmaid before, since she has a long-term childhood friends who are all married. She's even talked about helping with setup for weddings, hence my assumption. But when I asked her to be my bridesmaid, she burst out into tears and said, "You're so sweet. You don't have to make me your bridesmaid though." Confused, I asked, "Why wouldn't I want you to be my bridesmaid?" And she said, "I have never been pretty enough to be a bridesmaid." No. I was flabbergasted. Apparently all her other friends asked for help, both labor and money, but never allowed her to be in the photos because she's overweight. That's what they care about? In a photo? I would imagine that the priority is like, hey, I want my family and friends and the people who are dear to me who are in the photos. What? Like straight up shoot her out of photos? I can't even imagine doing something like that to a person who's given so much of herself for me over the years. Who gives a poo what she looks like? I reassured her repeatedly that she is pretty, and I don't care about her weight. I care about her heart, and she's done more than enough to deserve a place beside me at my wedding, whether or not she hosts it in her backyard. But I feel sad and infuriated that what was supposed to be a moment of joy and excitement between us was dampened by a lifetime of others ruining her self-esteem. I feel like I'm going to lunge at her childhood friends next time I see them because I'm so pissed to find out how they treated her. She deserves better friends. Do they think like wedding pictures is some kind of like weird modeling photo shoot or something? Like what kind of standard is this for a wedding? Are you serious? It sounds like some of those people might not be real friends. They're only asking for favors because they know she's very kind-hearted and won't really say no. I think everyone has bumped into those kind of people that are very eager to ask for help, but they're not actually a friend. They're just there when they need something. So it sounds like a very similar situation, to be honest. Not enough context to, of course, make a decision about people's lives, but based on this text, yikes.
Am I the butthole for asking my fiancé to not wear his brother's necklace on our wedding day? Butthole! Notes, me and my fiancé get along very well with everything else, but we just had a disagreement with this. He wears his late brother's wedding ring on his right hand and his brother's necklace. I can get behind the ring because you don't really notice it as much, but a necklace is more noticeable. It had his brother's wife's and their daughter's initials engraved on it.
Okay, so it's not even names, it's just initials, and it's a like piece of memory from his passed away brother. Alright.
I asked him if he would take off the necklace just for our wedding day. I also have a necklace I got as a gift from my mom that I'm not wearing on the day because it doesn't go with my dress. It's just one day and he can wear the ring if he wants. My fiance refused and said it is brother's and he's going to wear it.
That's not the same as a gift. God, this is like the only physical thing he has left of his brother, and this is the way of having his brother there with him at the wedding. It's not the same as just like a heartfelt gift. This is completely different. Not the butthole for asking, but you are the butthole for not accepting his answer. It's the only way his brother will be in the wedding photos. Let him have this. Yes! Yeah, exactly! Furthermore, if your mother's gift was as important emotionally, you should have picked out a dress that did go with it. I'm sure you're delightful in real life, but to say no to those 2 necklaces because of an aesthetic would be heartless and shallow. Edit. Apparently all 3 died? Wait, so it's not like you're wearing a brother's necklace with someone else's initials on it? All of them are gone. You're jealous of a dead person. What? I guess you left that detail out to not be such an obvious, unmitigated butthole. I would not bet a brass farthing that this wedding will go ahead unless you do some serious backtracking. Oh my god! So the whole family tragically passed away. He kept his brother's necklace as a piece of memory, and is also like a very symbolic way of having his lost brother physically in the photos. And this is how it's presented? What? Are you kidding me? It's him remembering his brother and the family, and you're jealous? That blows my mind. Posts.
How do you guys make extra money for the wedding? I was thinking about doing a sign on my car windshield with a Venmo or Cash App saying something like we're engaged or I found someone to buy my Starbucks forever.
Alright.
Has anyone done this? Edit, I'm not planning on that being my only way of making some extra funds.
Okay. First off, this is kind of odd and a little bit tacky. You're asking for donations from randoms who will not even be attending the wedding. Secondly, as someone who has done like PR stuff or run a channel like this, and I've done a lot of fundraisers in the past, right? When you do a fundraiser, there needs to be something that encourages people to help you raise the funds. They need to be either personally vested in it, it needs to be for example, a charitable cause that they personally believe in. You can have an event around it that kind of hypes it up and creates some kind of excitement. There needs to be something that motivates people to do it. Asking people to donate just randomly very, very rarely actually leads to anything. So it's not only pragmatically completely, it's also kind of weird.
We aren't doing date nights anymore, no more eating out, cutting back in a lot of spending, no more Starbucks. I was looking for ways to make passive income while we work full-time. Ooh, yes indeed, insert random MLM here please. Thank you for those who gave me constructive advice.
I'm assuming the comment section is an absolute war zone, but it just gives me an odd vibe, like maybe it's better to plan something within the budget in that case than to do, I don't know, it gives me an odd vibe. I know it's early, but I just wanted to let you know that something has come up, and Blorp and I won't be able to attend your wedding this weekend. I am sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just getting ready for work. What could possibly have come up?
His mom called last night, and his grandmom's not doing good and doesn't have much longer to live. We're flying out to Blorp today to be with her and his family.
Can't he go and you can come to the wedding instead?
Is that a serious question? Blorp, we want to see her. Blorp, who she hasn't met before she passes. And his family is my family now too. And I'm gonna be there for my boyfriend like any girlfriend would do. I get that you're mad and upset, and I'm sorry. At least I let you know instead of just not showing up.
Well, when you and Blorp get married, I'll make sure something comes up so I can do the same thing you're doing to me.
Or how about I just not invite you? I said I was sorry, and you can be mad at me all you want. This is more important to us, and we need to be there. Someone is passing away, and the new family member that is, well, deeply invested in the family from the sounds of it, wants to be there for them and wants to be sure they meet before it's too late. Do you read your replies to this conversation before sending them? Like, god darn it.
When you get married, I'll make sure my husband's grandma is dying and not come to your wedding so I can visit her instead.
I mean, that's what she's promising. Maybe her husband should know how far she'll go for petty revenge before the wedding, if there is still time. Or at least to keep her away from grandma in the run-up to your wedding. Never underestimate petty revenge. Oh dear God. Random pig ruins wedding photo 1940. Look at that pig! Oh my god, best wedding photo ever. Best wedding photo. Why is the pig not in a dress? I want to see this pig in a dress. He would rock it so... I mean, maybe not after rolling in the mud, of course, but... Oh my god, it would be so cute. I want a pig in a dress. Why can't I have a pig in a dress? Can someone send me a pig in a dress if I open a P.O. box? Wedding guests put all their effort for the day into trashing wedding. A few years ago, a friend and I went together to the wedding for some mutual friends. Both invited, decided to be each other's +1. We'll call them Donna and Dave. They were absolutely lovely people and a lovely couple and proof that you don't need a lot of money to put together a great wedding. They went to so much effort and worked incredibly hard on it. When we arrived, about half the guests were in jeans, t-shirts, tank tops, and what I can only describe as grotty dresses. The invitation said cocktail. And while I don't think the bride and groom expected people in Armani, it doesn't cost a lot to make an effort and look nice and presentable. When the bride turned up, her bridesmaid abandoned her and ran to the front and started flirting with the groomsmen. She was just left standing there after exiting the car. Myself and another woman hot-footed it over there and primped her for her walk. When the officiant did the traditional objection question, some guy decided to leap up and object, thinking it was hilarious to tell everyone about he'd always wanted the bride. He stood there laughing at his own joke until a person sitting near him basically manhandled him back into his seat. And this story keeps going. It's already like, Jesus Christ. The reception was to take place in a back room at a nearby pub. It was, I thought, a clever way of doing things, because guests could head there and wait in the main area and have a drink while waiting for the bride and groom and the reception to start. The invitation had made this clear, and that those drinks were at guests' own costs. A group of guests started shouting at the bar staff about having to pay for their drinks. Another few guests ended up offering to pay for their drinks just to avoid a major issue. Another group of guests got trashed in the 30 to 40 minutes we waited. Jeez, did you just like down 10 beers in half an hour before a wedding? That's the strat of the day? Alright. A woman and I stuck our heads into the reception room and discovered it had been ransacked. Someone had made off with gifts and even some of the glassware, plates and decoration with an open back door where the bride and groom were to enter. We notified staff who'd been frantically trying to fix things with the help of some guests. Jesus, what kind of group is this? Who did you invite? This is absolutely bonkers. Then the gift thief, a guest, came back for another round. An older guy, probably in his 70s, was so fed up he crash-tackled the guy to the floor. And then a couple of people dragged him to the manager's office to tell the police, this whole thing could be a movie. This is amazing. Donna and Dave arrived shortly after this, and all of us in the know stood there with an insane plastered smiles, like, nothing to see here. It's all good. The situation got resolved somehow. The police got rid of the douche canoe, got the gifts back, and a couple of guests brought them back to the venue as if though they had just been stored somewhere else. Sounds like maybe a couple of the guests were kind of scheming together and just like placing the gifts, to the side somewhere, hoping they would be forgotten and then just take them with them when the whole thing was over. Kinda sounds a bit wacky. The reception was, again, really well done for a tight budget, but so many of the guests got drunk, were rowdy beyond acceptable, and behaved belligerently. Two of them, people in their late 20s, started a food fight. In their late 20s, they're like full adults, just toss food. Luckily, security threw them out. The sensible guests spent most of the night running interference. At one point, I helped a bridesmaid to the toilet to vomit because she had otherwise thought under the table was a good spot. My friend had a guy he was helping wee on him and then try to kiss him. Great. It was a rough pub, so thankfully the staff were pretty used to dealing with the stuff. They were unbelievably tolerant and helpful. Maybe that's the strategy. Maybe they knew a lot of the guests would be like this, so they picked a place that had some staff that knew how to manhandle. So they would get help with the weird guests. That's not bad though, that's kind of smart. At the end of the evening, and many of us were really struggling but determined to stay and support Donna and Dave. We went to see them off and someone had vomited all over their car. A couple of kind older ladies got supplies from the pub and cleared it off while the rest of us stood around trying to laugh and joke with the bride and groom. A few of us went back to the venue before leaving and discovered that the bride's parents, who had agreed to pay any extra on-the-day costs at their wedding gift, had nicked off. We split it, including some of the costs for missing glass and tableware. There was a brief moment when those of us remaining were thinking about having a final drink in the bar, and then it was like, nope, let's all go home and never speak of this again. We were covered in grot. One guy had cake all down his suit trouser. Donna sent us the loveliest thank you note. They had, despite everything, had a wonderful day, which was such a relief. It sounds kind of like it ended sort of happy in the end. Like the bride and the groom were happy, you guys have a really funny story, the other guests can hopefully be avoided in the future, the place got reimbursed for the stuff they lost. I mean, it sounds like a really weird movie, honestly. It sounds like one of those chaotic wedding movies. Inviting your own guests with a side of slutty shaming.
Hey hon, when I mentioned the blorp and blort they are not invited to your wedding, they got upset. They actually want to be there for it. They said it's the only wedding they actually want to go to. They have been waiting for this day, they have been through all your exes.
That's a weird way of saying it.
And are happy to see you walk down the aisle. I will pay for them plus blorp girlfriend. So I will pay for 3 of them, hon. No big deal. A wedding is a great celebration. All we want is celebrate it with you, XX. Nothing like making your past relationships about us and then inviting ourselves to your wedding. Oh my god. Quality friends.
This person should be more concerned about keeping the invite they have. Oh yeah. Yes. Are you looking for a wedding dress? May I tingle your fascination with this following image? Oh yes indeed, look at this, and then you say, oh my god, but click, this dress is so wonderful. Does it have a ring that goes with it? Of course it does. Look at this beautiful ring. Wow, isn't this just absolutely astounding? I am so happy that this exists. A bride thinks using adult toys on each other is a normal hen night activity. What is this? You're just gonna have an orgy at night? I need to read this. This is amazing. I was talking to a friend today about the sub, and she gave me a story I have to share, with her permission. My friend was invited by a coworker, who she is not even close with, to her hen night, but gave up after the bride mentioned that one of the fun activities she had planned was for all the guests, all the women, to put in remote-controlled adult toys. I think you understand where this is going, and the controls to which would be given to other guests at random, and they would have to keep a straight face and not give anything away. This coworker is straight. She thought this was normal and very straight thing to do. My friend politely mentioned that this was basically an orgy, so she might be rethinking this. Or not. It was not clarified if guests should bring their own adult toys or if they would be provided. Most remote-controlled toys are very expensive, and even just cost-wise, either option is bad. The worst part is she probably got this idea from a website somewhere. Edit, I checked with my friend and it's entirely possible that this is in fact an MLM strategy. Didn't know they had MLMs for this kind of stuff, but I guess that's where we are now. Also, obviously I can't prove that this is real, but I am burdened with the knowledge that it's in fact real. Oh my god! Actually, that might be a strat. You create this kind of event, people show up, and then you're like required to buy this item at the door, which is most likely very overpriced and poor quality, and then you just kind of hand it over to people. That's the whole strat. Wouldn't surprise me. That's like the only explanation I can give for this that isn't some kind of really weird stuff. I mean, not that MLMs aren't weird stuff. Moving on. Interesting dress choice for mother of the groom. Oh no. No, that's so bad. No. Oh, you can't even tell who's the bride at this point. That's not good. When the officiant asks you if you take your bride, but you have to consult with the boys. Look at that, the boys. Ah, yes, huddling with the boys and chugging a beer while your bride waits for your answer. I get like with the boys humor and stuff. That is fun. In certain context, not like leaving your wife awkwardly and humiliatingly standing alone by the altar. Probably not the time and the place. My self-esteem is pretty low, but gosh darn, it's not this low. Ivanka crops out Don Jr.'s girlfriend Kimberly Gargoyle from IG wedding pic. Look at that, she's on the side and then just hippity-hoppity cropped out of your property. The shade, haha. But also, isn't this why partners are put on the end? Easier to crop out if things go south. I suppose that is a strat. Yeah, that's sounds about right.
My sister got married yesterday, and the groom started his vows with, "Kate, you are a bully," and proceeded to give like 50 examples of how she's bullied him in the last 10 years. And then he said, "But you're my bully, and I love you for it," and I started bawling. Love is real.
Saw the OG tweet, and it's definitely an in-joke, not downplaying of abuse. But that being said, I would have phrased it differently if I was gonna tweet about it. Yeah, if it's an internal joke, this seems like the kind of thing that you would post in a private group chat. Or maybe on Facebook, where only your friends follow you. Not a public tweet that make it seem like, you know, oh, this horrible person that is mistreating you, I still love you, so I'll put up with it. That's not a good interpretation, is it?
Oh my god, look at these outfits. Do you think Lauren was worried that we would outshine her?
Oh yeah, that's Definitely yes. Dad, did you guys know that bride's cousin flashed her boobas at the kitchen staff for a cigarette, and for a wedding gift she left bride and groom 2 hits of acid? Wow! Holy crap! What an absolute train wreck! Holy shit! Here's a little gift, I think. Last chance to run, Daddy. Here comes Mommy. What? No! Look at these pictures and oh god, the bottom of the middle picture and the right picture has to be a little bit censored, because that's a male organ right there. Absolutely shaming this. The caption was, not gonna lie, she captured more than just my heart! Oh, baby, you caught both my heart and my balls. Oh, I am a bit of a poet, if I may say so myself. And they say romance is dead. They are certainly correct. Nobody, literally nobody, couples on IG posting pics at a wedding. We clean up good. Or cheers to the newlyweds who aren't even tagged and won't see the post. Reminds me of the birthday tribute photos where the birthday girl usually looks mediocre fine, but the poster is absolutely glowing. Happy birthday, this angel. I want an excuse to post this picture myself. Yeah, oh my god, that's such a classic. When you have someone that's taken like 50 different selfies during a night and they only post the one when they themselves look good. It's like the perfect angle when you nail yourself, everyone else looks like freaking gremlins in the background. You're like, Ah, that is the strat.
Just need to vent. So my wedding was last week, on my honeymoon. Thinking back and still frustrates the crap out of me to tears. So his cousin decided she would be the first one to dance with my husband. We were sitting waiting for things to get rolling, DJ has music going, and before I can even say anything, his cousin comes up and takes him to dance. Before we even do our first dance. Still so hurt. Why would you? That is so bad. A cousin? Really? Oh no, no.
Had to tell my mom she can't wear this to my wedding. Have gotten silent treatment since.
Look at that mom with her little own wedding dress, but didn't you know that your wedding is really about me? Yes.
Fake engagement party turned disaster. Some high school friends of mine asked if my partner and I would help them set up for their engagement party. They hired a community hall and, including my partner and I, about 6 of us showed up around 4 hours early to arrange seating, decorate, and use the kitchen there to prepare food for all the attendees. It was hard and sweaty work, and we were setting up for 100+ guests. Both sets of families were excited to be there. The bride had been very preoccupied with the projector and sound system during the whole time we were working for her event. Cut to the speeches after everyone had dinner, and the only working part of the tech was the microphone. After watching the couple try to play video for 15 minutes, they hurriedly announced that they were in fact already married in secret, and this was the reception. Suddenly, their video finally plays and we see their wedding on a beach, with 20 selected guests also at this event who had been sworn to secrecy. One of the close friends who had been setting up everything with us had turned to me and said, "So we're good enough to do free work for her, but not to attend the wedding?" Oh, that is so bad. She immediately left and was so offended. I proceeded to hear and see several older family members cry out in perceived betrayal. The bride spent the next hour making an apology tour around the room trying to soothe the reaction, so we bounced. Extremely weird turn to make it super uncomfortable for everyone in the moment. Oh, that is so weird. You ask people for help for your wedding ceremony, and then it turns out, no, we already had it, it was secret, and you weren't invited. You're just free labor, baby. You're not even a close friend. Ouch! That gesture is not great, man. Edit to add. Update. 72 victims and $32,000 owed. If you had a bad experience with Blorp and Blorp by Blorp in the San Antonio, Texas area, and she owes you money, or you were in some other type of victim, please private message me. I am assisting victims in an investigation. 59 victims, 26,000. This is a bridal makeup artist looking for brides and on their wedding day leaving them high and dry and stealing money, then threatening them with legal action if they leave a bad review or they ask for their money back. She's went as far as threatening to mess with the victim's DACA status. This is how she kept all her victims quiet. So DACA, I think, is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And if that's sort of what I think it means, holy freaking yikes, dude. Yeah, good thing they're having like some class action against them at this point. That is so scummy. You're not only ruining their day, you're also threatening them and taking it this far. Jesus, what a scumbag.
Getting married next summer and just found out our best man's wife is preggo and due around our wedding day. I don't care for her and purposely did not have her in the wedding. I feel like she did this on purpose to take the attention off me. I am so mad. Oh my god, the universe revolves around me. Can you imagine that some other couple had a baby just because they wanted to have a baby? No, they tried to plan it so the baby would be born on my wedding day. This is obviously the only thing that could have happened. I am the center of the universe.
Man, damn, that poor camera. There. You know it's a good video when the camera is spinning around uncontrollably. I think Blorp accidentally deleted her post. Oops, I got you though, girl.
I feel horrible for saying this, but I have a pretty good girlfriend who was gonna ask to be a bridesmaid, and her daughter is a flower girl. She's 3. Then I remembered how terribly ugly the kid is. Oh, I just don't want her daughter's face being the showstopper, you know. Oh well, I have our daughter and 4 of my cousin's girl to do it anyway. I know I'm gonna get a ton of backlash for this.
I wonder why. You're basically shaming a toddler. Jesus Christ, you know that post we read in the beginning of the video about that person who was shoved out of photos because their friends were like, oh my god, you're not aesthetic enough for that photos. This is like that, but it's towards the child. Huh? Some people are just cruel on a different level and they're setting standards and expectations of people or just projecting their own nastiness in ways that can really leave permanent scars. Blah. Yeah, party pic! 1 year ago today, I faked a negative COVID test so I could go to Scotland and Norway. I also married my best friend in the entire world. If it didn't cost so much money, I'd say let's do it all over again. It was the best day of my life, I'll never forget. Oh, that's a little bit tacky. So you faked... Wait, that's mean you had COVID when you traveled? Oh no. Oh no.
Am I wrong for feeling upset that my sister is dressing her 2-year-old daughter in a white dress and white shoes at my wedding? I thought it was a well-known fact that they never wear white to someone's wedding.
Flower girls wear white. It's a kid. Surely it's not the most pressing concerns. When your mother-in-law does it, that's a problem. It's a 2-year-old. Oh my god. They're like, do you think they're gonna steal the whole show? They're so tiny. They're barely gonna be in the photos. If you're so concerned. What? Out of all the things to worry about, this is the thing? Alright.
I have a huge dilemma, and I am seeking advice. So my family and I are huge seafood lovers. However, my best friend or maid of honor is allergic to seafood. She's allergic enough where she cannot be around seafood without breaking out in hives. I am bummed out that I can't have seafood at my wedding or the events leading up to it. I'm not sure how I should approach this situation. I don't want to seem insensitive, but I'm also getting pushback from my family who feels it's unfair to not have any seafood because of one party. I haven't talked to my maid of honor about it yet because it seems that she's assuming I won't have seafood at the wedding.
She's assuming you won't have stuff at your wedding that will, like, literally kill her. Yeah, that seems like a pretty, baseline expectation.
How do I approach this issue so everyone is comfortable? Am I wrong for wanting to have seafood? I know my friend's health is important. Yeah, you mean their life? Yeah. But I also only get one wedding, and I feel like I'm missing out.
Is the specific meal you have on your wedding worth ruining the friendship of your maid of honor with? To me, it seems like a pretty obvious trade, like maybe the event and the people there are the main aspect. Sure, nice food is nice, but I don't think that's what you're gonna remember. I think, like, ruining your best friendship over something like this is very silly. Not to mention very disrespectful. If I had, for example, a serious nut allergy, for example, I don't, but for the sake of argument, and I was a best man at a friend's wedding, and they were like, oh, by the way, we're gonna have freaking nuts everywhere. I hope that's fine. I'd be like, damn, yeah, you can go shove those nuts where the sun don't shine, I'm out. Like, come on, really? To ask if this is usual for a wedding. To seat guests at tables depending on the quality of wedding gifts. Higher/more wanted the gift, the better the table. And divide into gold, silver, and bronze statuses without telling the guests, obviously. What would be the purpose, though? Like, you're just low-key shaming people for spending not enough money, in your opinion, on gifts and seating them at colored tables, which they may or may not figure out? Like, why? What could possibly be the reason for this? Welcome to wedding ceremony. Please turn off cell phones and cameras. 3:30 p.m. Horse ovaries. Maybe like spell check the wedding cards? Or maybe don't. This is absolutely hilarious. Don't spell check it. This is amazing. Unfortunately, we've had to postpone our wedding. I have been diagnosed with cancer and starting treatment 2 weeks before the wedding. We've received a lot of support and understanding, but unfortunately some people want us to reimburse them for cancelled flights. How do I handle this situation? Am I in the wrong for saying no? You got cancer, and supposed friends and family demand you pay for their tickets because you got a life-threatening disease. That is absolutely bonkers. And I mean, why didn't they just book refundable tickets? You know, stuff like this happens all the time. They could have gotten sick and can't attend the wedding, something changes with the dates. There are a lot of situations where you would need to have your tickets refunded, but they choose to make a fuss about it to someone that got cancer. What?
Money saving hack! I bought the items I needed for my wedding within the return policy date, blah blah blah. When the wedding is over, I'm returning all the items and getting my money back. Just keep them in good condition and bloody bloody blah.
Isn't this just like rental, but with extra steps and a lot scummier? This is just scummy rental. I don't like this.
Sorry, rant post. I'm getting married Sunday, and today I discovered that the salon I've booked to have my nails, eyebrows, and waxing done on Saturday has only booked me for gel polish. I definitely need acrylics. I'm a nail biter. They apparently now can't fit me in for that. So I'm glad I found out today rather than Saturday morning, but I don't think I'll find anywhere reputable that can accommodate me now. So it's going to be a Chinese nail bar for me. Are they really that bad?
Oh yes, indeed. Nothing like casually racistly venting on Facebook about your own lack of planning, I suppose. Yeah, that's gonna look good. Good choice. Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here, you wonderful, beautiful, nice-smelling bean. And I will see you in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.